So I had taken kind of a big break from practicing the violin. So I've played the violin since I was 4 years old and played basically my entire life, but just life gets busy. Just recently got it, like recently had a kid, and so we, violin's taken a back seat, and so I wasn't able to really practice consistently for a few years, honestly. And so it's one of those situations where it's like every time I got it back out, I was like, wow, I am really rusty. I am playing very poorly. Things are out of tune. Like, I just feel like my technique is all over the place. After starting Violin Virtuoso, though, I feel like I've been able to. I mean, it's only been a few months, but I can already feel like I started to build a little bit of that confidence back. Like, I feel a little more independent in how I'm playing, and like being able to like identify what needs to be fixed without a teacher telling me or feeling like I need to receive that validation from another source. Um, and that's probably been one of the biggest things, and has also been one of the biggest things that I've been trying to look for with Violin Virtuoso, is just kind of regaining that confidence in my playing. And so I can already tell with, even though it's been systematically dissecting and breaking down everything that I've learned in the past and rebuilding that from scratch, which has been, uh, needless to say, very difficult. It feels good to have some structure again. Not much. I mean, it's one of those things where, looking back on it, like I remembered some things that I had learned from my previous violin teacher, who, the last time I had taken lessons from her was back in like 2013. And so but after so long, I forget so many different things, and so my practicing was very repetitive. I feel like there wasn't structure, if any at all. Felt like I was trying to just kind of like brute force my way through and just try to like, oh, like, as long as I play this, enough times, it'll be fine, without like thinking about it too much. I'd been talking to my wife not too long before I ran into that. Like, man, I wish I could take some lessons. I feel like I can play the violin, but I just feel like there's so much that I've lost over these last years that I haven't been able to practice consistently. These years that I haven't had a teacher, I haven't had structure. Um, and it kind of, going back to what I was saying before, I felt like I just kind of lost that confidence. Like, with easier pieces, it was like, I feel like, I can play and people go, whoa, yeah, crazy. But like, for more difficult pieces, the ones that I really wanted to learn, the ones I really wanted to put time into, I feel like it was like, I just don't know where to start. I am subscribed to Rob on YouTube, and going through my feed, sometimes there's like community posts, and then I saw a post talking about this violin program that he's doing, and he's like, like intermediate to whatever level violinist, this is a program intended for people that are trying to get back into violin. And I was like, I mean, I mean, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, decided to take a chance, hit him up, and yeah, here we are. Just the desire to improve, the desire to get better. I really did feel like I was in a very stagnant state with my violin playing. It was one of those things where it's like, um, what's the right word? I guess complacency. I was kind of complacent with where I was, but in order to, proverbially level up, and improve, I felt like I needed a little more structure. I needed something else to help me get to that point. I didn't know where to find that or what that was, and so that's kind of what helped me press go on that. So a reoccurring kind of theme that I kind of touched on is structure. I feel like, well, working with a team has been great. It's been able to interact with the cohort, a little bit here and there, just because of time differences and everybody's schedules. It's like I've only really been able to interact over video call with like a few people, and then other people that are also actively involved, not so much. But you know, um, The teachers have been great. Yeji has been great. Rob has been great to work with. They've all been both motivating and giving us good pushes, but in like also like just stretching us out. That's been really good. And then once again, going back to what I was talking about, one of the most beneficial things has just been the structure. Like the things that they've been teaching us has kind of reformed my perspective and my approach on practicing, and being able to have structure in my practice and presented in a way where it's, like I said, been kind of systematically broken down, like all the different steps and all the different facets that you need to focus on to get the sound and apply the technique and, you know, perform the way that you want to, has been really good. It depends on the week. It's been a little bit different every single week. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm really getting this, and I will admit, like my years of experience, I mean, I've been playing violin for over 2 decades now, and so it's like I feel like I do have a good amount of experience. But even then, like, I've had to be humbled many times, because it's like learning how to walk a different way, you know. It's like I've been learning how to walk facing forward and taking steps forward, and then somebody comes at me and says, that's not how you walk. There's a better way to walk. We're going to turn you sideways, and we're going to have you start walking sideways now. And so it's like, you know, maybe that's an extreme example, but that's what it's felt like for certain parts of the practice and the technique that they're teaching us. And so it's, yeah, that's kind of been the experience. Some parts I feel like I pick up well, others I really have to take what I'm trying to say, I really feel like I have to take a step back and go, okay, I need to start from the beginning. I just need to, you know, take it like quite literally one baby step at a time. And it's been really good to do that. So I think it's scaled well depending on ability, because in some circumstances, and the instructors in Violin Virtuoso, specifically Yeji, she's been very transparent with, you know, if I see you picking something up quickly, then I'll suggest like something more difficult or something more advanced, like the next, you know, little bit to start working on. You know, I'll accelerate you a little bit. But if I see you struggling with something, I'll focus on you, and we'll take the reins back, and I'll, you know, put the time to make sure you feel like you understand what we're doing. So it's like, it's been a matter of how the instructors, or I guess instructor, has approached it, and I think she's done it very well. I would be likely to recommend it. I feel like it's for people who just feel like, I guess if somebody already has a teacher that they're actively taking lessons from, like, you know, this could be a good resource. But once again, it's like, you know, you could be getting conflicting ideas from 2 different teachers at the same time. It's one of those things where, like, if somebody had been, you know, has played violin before, and now they're not taking lessons, and you know, life has just, you know, gone busy and taken over, but it's still something that they want to keep up with, and they were serious about practicing and putting the time aside, then I feel like it's something that I would 100% recommend, just because it, like, being able to come and learn these different things every single week, and every single week there's just always something new to pick up. There's always new feedback, there's a new layer, a new technique. Like, it's been great. So